Hi guys, this is May Dolau, and I'm on Periscope and I'm on YouTube Live right now talking about what is your money blueprint and how do you change it. Okay, so that's today's topic. So if you're actually on my blog, you can see me on YouTube Live, and if you're on Periscope, yo Periscope, get on Facebook Live, and then we got one more. I'm still seeing what the differences are between all of these platforms. But let's go. Okay, so here we go. What is, and the topic, like I said. So what is your money blueprint? This is actually based on this book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of hard to see there. Oh, there you go, T. Harv Eker. There, and then down here you can see that, yeah? So that book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, talks about your money blueprint. And the first time I ever learned about it was back in 2000, I don't know, a while ago, 2000 something, 2010 or 9 or something. And I was really interested to hear about it because I had never thought that there was some predetermined money blueprint in me. But then the way he talked about it really made sense. He's like, how come when people win the lottery, they don't seem to have any luck? You know what I mean? Like, they'll lose it all again. All right, so how come that happens? Sorry about this, guys. Let me just get my things all live here. Sorry. Let's figure this out here. My Instagram is doing funky things. So why is it that, like, let's look at Donald Trump. There we go. Let's look at Donald Trump. Donald Trump is an interesting guy. Donald Trump is someone who is a billionaire. And if he wasn't a billionaire, like let's say he had $1 million, what would he think of himself? I mean, seriously, if Donald Trump only had $1 million, what would he think? He would think, oh my God, I'm so poor, right? That's what Donald Trump would think. Because Donald Trump is set up to be a billionaire. So if he only makes $1 million, to him it's like, I'm a failure, right? So that's Donald Trump. So really think about that and wonder, okay, so now it kind of makes sense. Like, what is our money blueprint, right? Okay, let me just, and how do you change it? And how do you change it? Boom, live, whew, okay. I'm on Facebook Live now, okay. We're good, guys. Anyways, like I was saying, real quick, this is May Dolau talking about Financial Freedom Friday. Okay, I'm going to call it Financial Freedom Friday or something. I'm going to give it a cool name. But every Friday, I'm going to be talking about financial topics. It's the heart. I know, finally got all set up. So let's talk about it. Today's topic, what is your money blueprint and how do you change it? So, like I said, in this book by T. Harv Eker, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, right? In this book, he talks about your money blueprint. Now, how can you tell what it is? All right, so like I already talked about Donald Trump. Donald Trump's blueprint is set for billions of dollars. Okay, if he doesn't have billions, if he's not working with billions, he feels like a loser. Okay, and he's like, I gotta get moving, I gotta cracking. Something's wrong here. Okay, now for most people, you're not set for that way, right? Because if you're not a billionaire, you're not thinking something's wrong. Hi, Diamond Cut Fit, welcome to Scope. So what does that mean? You can actually tell what your money blueprint is. It's actually really easy. How can you tell? How much money do you have? That's your money blueprint. It's actually really simple. Like, now, of course, any point in time your money might change, but over the course of the last, whatever, 5 years, this past year, what is amount of money you've had, pretty much. Now, some people have no money, right? They live paycheck to paycheck. All their money, they get it, they spend it on bills and stuff, and then they're like, I'm waiting for the next paycheck, right? So that's paycheck to paycheck, right? Some people live that way. And I used to live that way, okay? So I'm not knocking paycheck to paycheck people, okay? I used to be like that. Some people are living in the red. What does that mean to live in the red? They're negative. So when they're negative, that means that the money that they're spending, they actually don't have it. They're spending it from a credit card or a line of credit, or they're borrowing it from other people. They're actually in the red. So they're spending more than they make. And I know quite a few people like that. Hey, Go Gonzo, welcome to my Instagram live. So I know a lot of people who are in the red. And I used to be like that. Like I said, I'm not knocking anyone. I'm not saying anything bad about anyone. I'm just saying the truth, okay? We're going to talk about the truth today. And the truth is, your money situation is your money blueprint, all right? So if you're in the red, that means, hello, thanks for saying hello. Hi, YBoxy381, welcome to the scope. We're talking about money blueprints now. So what is yours? So really think about it. It actually doesn't take a lot of thought. You can kind of know. If you feel extremely stressed out, like you don't know what's going on with your money and you feel like you're borrowing a lot, you're probably in the red, all right? If you're not borrowing, but every time you get a paycheck, you're spending all your money, then you're living paycheck to paycheck. So you're kind of like zero level, okay? Now, thanks for the hearts. If you're saving money, then you're not at zero, you're higher, okay? And if you're not in the red and you're saving, if you're investing and your investors growing and your wealth is expanding a lot, that makes you even higher level, right? If you're a millionaire, then you have a millionaire blueprint, right? You're a decamillionaire, which means you have over $10 million, and you're a decamillionaire blueprint, right? So you can actually get very precise with it. You can find out exactly what your money blueprint is. And you know how to do that? Just calculate your net worth, okay? Just calculate your net worth. That's your money blueprint, all right? That's your money blueprint, is your net worth. So go ahead and calculate everything that you have, right? What do you own? What do you have? How much money? How much is your house worth? All this stuff. Add it all together, and then take everything you owe, your mortgage, your credit card debts, your personal loan debts. Subtract it from what you have, right? What you have minus what you owe is your net worth. Your net worth is a pretty good indicator of what your money blueprint is. Another way to calculate your net worth is to calculate your cash flow, right? So cash flow is how much money do you make and how much money do you spend, all right? So take how much you make and subtract how much you spend, and you get your cash flow. Some people call it other things. I call it cash flow, all right? So depending on how much you make, that's one kind of money blueprint. How much you spend is another type of money blueprint. So if your cash flow is zero, you're paycheck to paycheck, right? Some people make a lot of money, okay, and they're still paycheck to paycheck, okay? I know people, welcome to my Facebook Live. Welcome. I know a lot of people who make like over $100,000 a year, and they spend it all, right? They hardly save anything, right? So they also have a paycheck to paycheck zero money blueprint, okay? But they actually have a higher income blueprint than someone who's making only maybe $20,000 a year and they're spending it all. So you can check your money blueprint in different places. So this is how you determine what it is. Number one, calculate your net worth, right? Number two, calculate your cash flow. Number three, calculate how much savings you have. How much is that? That's kind of a part of your net worth, actually. So really the two that you really need to do is cash flow and your net worth. And you can also calculate I have another way of looking at things, and that's passive income. How much passive income do you make? So how much passive income you make will indicate also your wealth. Because if you don't make any passive income, then all of your money is coming from you spending time doing something to get paid, right? But if you have passive income, that means your money is working for you and making you money. Thanks for the heart. So that's another indicator, is passive income. So how much passive income are you making? Now, if you can calculate those different things, I usually also calculate my financial freedom account. How big is my financial freedom account? My financial freedom account, if you don't know what that is, it's your savings for your freedom, okay? And it's your investments for your freedom. And it can be more than one account. I have several accounts, and I combine them and I add them up, and that's my financial freedom account. So financial freedom account is where I get my passive income, all right? That's what I call it. I call it my financial freedom account. So whatever it is for you, you might call it, some people call it their, what do you call it? The immortality account. Some people call it their immortality account. I call it my financial freedom account. So let's talk about that. You can check your passive income, the amount in your financial freedom account. You can check your net worth, your cash flow, and right now you can know exactly what your money blueprint is. All right. So like I said, I used to be in the red. So I used to have a negative money blueprint. I am no longer in the red. I actually have no debt. I have zero debt. Right. So since I have no debt, that makes me above zero. Okay. So I'm now in the positive. I'm in the black. Okay. It took me 2 years to get out of the red and get into the black with a concentrated effort into get into the black. It took me that long. Now my cash flow as well is positive too. And that's a real change for me actually, because my cash flow became positive. I became debt free in April of last year. So that's when it really hit me. Thanks for the heart. That's when it really hit me that I was in the positive, because every month I'd have extra money in my checking account, and that never happened for the longest time. If you're someone who has been living in paycheck to paycheck or living in the red, having extra money in your account is like, wow, it's like such a different feeling, right? So now since April, I actually have extra money in my account. Like it actually grows. It actually is growing. So I'm like, wow, this is cool. Okay, so I now have a positive cash flow money blueprint. Okay, so this is my story. What is you have to just figure out for yourself. What is your money blueprint? How much debt do you have? You know, how much passive income do you make? Passive income. When I first started this journey, I didn't even know what passive income was, right? What the heck is passive income, right? And then I read this book, which helped, right? And this book is, like I said, this book is called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. Okay, and it taught me what passive income is. I was like, what the heck is passive income? I actually went to the Millionaire Mind Intensive Seminar, which is based on this book. And that's where I learned what it was. Passive income is money you make without trading time. It's just your money and you put it somewhere and it makes you more money, you know? And a good example is buying a property. Let's say you buy an apartment building and it has a manager in it, and your manager runs the whole property for you and they do all the money for you, and basically every month you get paid the profit. That's like a passive income investment. Okay. Another passive income investment is if you did a website. Okay. I have one website that makes me money. I don't do anything with it at all. Like I don't even look at it, and it makes me money. I get money every now and then. So it's a blog that I did way back on ESL, English as a Second Language teaching. So anyway, that's passive income. Okay, it's like something you created or you invested in it. Like I have stocks. I have stocks that I buy that pay dividends, and that gives me passive income. Right? Some people might write a book and it just keeps selling and selling, so they get royalties. That's passive income. So this is what passive income is. Now, whatever your passive income level is also part of your blueprint. Okay? So there's a lot of different things to look at. I also look at something else called time blueprint. How much free time do you have? Because to me, time freedom is extremely important. I really am focused on financial freedom in terms of having time to do what you like. And my time freedom seriously went up in December. December 23rd was the last day I worked at my bank job. I used to work at a bank. I learned a lot there. It was a good job, but I'm glad I don't have to work a job anymore. So once I quit my job, my time freedom like skyrocketed. Okay, because then I had time. Like yesterday, I went to the beach and I went swimming and all that kind of stuff. And I did what I like to do, which is a lot of live videos, talk to people, and just hang out, And that is my time freedom. And it seriously expanded ever since I quit my job. Now, a lot of people have to work a job for a living. So if you have to work a job, oh, hi, Manev. Welcome. So if you have to work a job for a living, then you have less time freedom than someone like me who doesn't have to work a job for a living. Okay. So that's some ways to figure out what your money blueprint is. So by now you should know. Okay, you should pretty much know what your money blueprint is. All right, so you should pretty much know. Now, how do you change it? That's the good. Okay, say your money blueprint is set to negative. Like when I took this seminar, my money blueprint was negative, I think. It was negative. It might have been 0. It wasn't more than 0. Okay, so when I went to the seminar, my money blueprint was at 0. Okay. I go to the seminar and I borrowed money to go. Okay, so that tells you something, right, on a credit card. So I go to the seminar and find out about my money blueprint, and I'm like, you know what? I want a better money blueprint. I want to be a millionaire. Actually, I want to be a billionaire, really. So you have to start by doing certain things. You have to change your money blueprint. Okay, so how do you change it? All right, so let's dive into that. First thing you have to do is you have to understand. Keep on going. I'll watch the replay. Okay, Rick. See you later. So first thing you have to do is you have to understand where it came from so that you can change it. All right. So he talks about different incidents in our lives which create our money blueprint and the reason it works. So the way he talks about it is like a tree. A tree has roots, and the roots of the tree create the fruit. So if you have an apple tree, you'll have apples. And if you have an orange tree, you'll have oranges. It makes a lot of sense, right? So whatever your tree is, the roots of the tree will determine what comes out. It's the same thing with a person. So whatever's your internal programming, your internal mindset, your thinking, your programs about money will determine what you do with money. Okay? So let's just put it this way. I could have been a millionaire by now. I realize that now when I look back and I think about my life and how much money I've made and, you know, my choices I've made, I realize I have made enough to be a millionaire by now. But I'm not. Why is that? Because I chose to do different things with my money. Instead of accumulating it, investing it wisely, and becoming a millionaire, I chose to spend it, you know, some wisely, some not so wisely. Basically, I don't have a millionaire status right now. And the reason was because of actions I did. Now, where did the actions come from? Why was I spending that way? Why would I get money and spend it? Now, you might be watching this, be like, I know my money blueprint, but how do I change it? You know, I get money, I spend it. How else do I pay my bills, right? That might be what's going on in your head. You're like, what do I do? You can change it. The first thing you have to decide is that you're willing to change it, okay? That you believe this and that you're going to change it, okay? So once we get past that, the second thing is to really think about what causes our actions. So what causes our actions about money is our thoughts about money, okay? So we have a thought like, oh, I need to pay my bills. So you go and pay your bills, right? Or, oh, I got my paycheck. What am I going to spend it on tonight? Or where am I going to go out? Or whatever. Or you might get money and be like, oh, good, I got a paycheck. I can put aside 25% into my financial freedom account instead of 15. I mean, I don't know if you get that thought in your head. I start getting that kind of thought now, which I never had before, okay, which is a totally different thought, all right? So how do you change to have these kinds of wealth accumulation thoughts or wealth generation thoughts? How do you do that, right? The only way to do it is to change your programming. So there's it's kind of a chart here I'll show you. You have to understand this, because if you don't understand this, you're going to think that you're not going to know how to change. And he does it more thoroughly than me. But basically, here's the chart. It says P goes to T, goes to F, goes to A, goes to R. I'm going to show the chart over here. Okay. So I don't know if my parents go. Okay. So programming, what you were programmed in your mind, okay, leads to your feelings. All right. Oh, sorry, leads to your thoughts. Right? Your program leads to your thoughts. Right? Whatever you're programmed goes to your thoughts. So let's give an example. Say you're programmed that, you know, money is evil. So when you have a thought about money, you think money is evil, right? So then it leads to your feelings about money. Okay, so if you're programmed that money is evil because when you're a kid, your mom always said money is evil, money's the root of all evil. Maybe you grew up like that, okay? And then you have a thought in your head about money, right? And you think, oh, money, you know, I don't want to touch it, or it's horrible, or if I have it, I'm going to be evil, right? Then what happens is you have feelings about money. You start feeling bad, like, ugh, money, I don't want it, you know. And then it creates actions around money. So when you get money, you get rid of it. Maybe you spend it, maybe you give it away, right? Or maybe you lose it. Or maybe you purposely don't earn it. because you think it's evil. So you get a job that pays you very little, but you still need to survive, but you feel like it's evil. And maybe you feel guilty about making money, and that causes distress. Yeah? That's one result. So this all equals R, which is result. Here's another one. Let's say you're programmed like Donald Trump for billions, right? So when you have a thought about money, you're thinking, how can I make this into a successful business venture? Maybe create a hotel. You know, that's what Donald Trump is thinking in his head. How do I position myself where I can build another hotel? Or create another great business structure, right? And then he has a feeling. He feels excited. He feels like this is a challenge, maybe. I'm just giving you another idea, which leads to action. So he starts calling up his investor friends. He starts looking for properties, looking for geographic location, connecting with his network of people to find the best new location for this new grand hotel, right? With his name on it, of course. And he's thinking, how can I make this happen? I'm excited, right? Or I'm motivated, or I'm pumped. And then, and I don't know Donald Trump's head, but I'm just giving you an example, making it up, okay? And then it becomes an action. So the feeling of excitement becomes actions. He goes and he does that. He talks to his network of people. He creates the funding. You know, he goes around, talks to people he has to talk to get the money to do it. He finds the property. He locates it. He makes the plan. He gets the people to do that for him. And then the result is another new hotel with Trump on the front. And more money coming in, bigger business, more money in the billionaire column. So that is an example of your programs leading to your thoughts, which then lead to your feelings, which then lead to your actions and lead to your results. You may be watching this like, oh, that's really simple, you know, but really that is really what's happening. And you might not believe it, but I have been doing this stuff long enough to know that every time I changed one thought in my head, my money situation would get better, my health would get better, my time freedom would get better, my marriage would get better. Who knows? It's like, amazingly enough, my everything, my relationship with my son would get better. I mean, you do not understand, maybe, or maybe you do, the power of programs. So now that we understand programs, how do we figure out what our programs are? So I'm going to talk about 3 methods he talks about, and then I'm going to end this. I know I started a little late. I'm going to end this in 5 minutes. 3 types of programming. All of our programs were pretty much set in our head by the time we were 3 years old, but we also got a lot during, we can get programmed anytime during our life, which is good because we can actually reprogram ourselves right now. Okay? So, programs. You can program yourself anytime. A lot of our programs happen when we're kids, when we don't even realize it, and then it runs our life. Okay, that's why a lot of people are just like their parents. All right, like if you have the same amount of money as your parents, you do the same thing as your parents, you have your parents' money blueprint. Okay, and they might have theirs. Now, you don't have to have the same as your parents. You might have the opposite. You might have done an oppositional, you know, I'm not going to be like, I'm going to rebel and do the opposite of your parents. Who knows? But whatever your blueprint is, a lot of it came from when you were young, especially. So the key is to find out what's running your life, okay? And to change it to what you want. All right, that's the key. All right? The key here is not about programming being bad. Programming is programming. It's just life. That's how we live our life. We have a program. It creates these effects in our life. What we want to do is we want to understand it and change it. Okay? So the first thing that you must understand is that we have verbal programming. Verbal programming is what happens when you hear things when you're a kid growing up on television, from your teachers, from your parents, from your friends, what you heard as a kid. Okay? And it's still now, you're still getting verbally programmed now. If you're the kind of person who watches television, and you watch the news, you're getting a lot of negative verbal programming every day about how this person died or blah, 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 blah. I never watch the news for that very reason. I do not want to be programmed with a lot of negativity. But I actually am very careful about what I listen to. And that was another reason I really wanted to quit my job, because I didn't have control over my environment sometimes. Like, people would say things and I'm like, ugh, I don't want to be here and hear these things. So, verbal programming, things that you heard when you were a kid about money. So we're talking about money here, okay? What did you hear about when you were a kid? What do you remember hearing when you were a kid about money? Okay? So to do this, to really change your program and to think about it, you need to write it down. So you need to take the time, maybe right now, get a pen and a piece of paper, and just write down when you were a kid, what do you remember that you heard about money? What did your parents say? What did your teachers say? Classmates? What did people say all the time about money? Write it down. Okay, and this is actually in the book. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. Okay, it's in this book I'm talking about right here. They have the exercise right here, so I highly recommend you buy the book and do it yourself. But you can do it right now and just write down what you heard about money. Maybe you heard that money was the root of all evil. Maybe you heard that it's awesome and great. Maybe you heard that one of my students told me he heard that he should only other people should give him stuff. He should use other people's money. That's what he heard when he was a kid. So as an adult, he married someone and that his wife supported him. It's like interesting how that turned out. But whatever it is, what did you hear about money when you were a kid? Write it down. Okay? Once you write it down, you look at it and you just think about it. How has that affected your financial life up to now? So for my friend, like I said, who realized that he was taught when he was a kid that other people should give him money and that he, used other people's money, that's really affected his life up to now. And he was amazed at the effect it had. Like all the money he had in his life, almost, not all of it, but a lot of it came from other people. Other people gave him money. So that is a big thing for him. And now he is on his own and he realizes he wants to have his own money and create it himself instead of having other people always give it to him. Now that doesn't mean you shouldn't accept money from other people. Okay, I'm just talking about your money blueprint. What is your verbal programming? Okay? So the next one after verbal programming is modeling. What did you learn about money as a kid just by seeing other people? So T. Harv Eker uses the example as when he was a child, his dad was a contractor. Well, he was a builder. So sometimes he would have a lot of money and sometimes he would have no money. And so he'd have an up and then a down. So when they had a lot of money was when his dad would sell whatever he built. And then they had tons of money and, money would free flow and he would give, Harv money to do whatever he needed when he was a kid. But then when he started a new project, then they had no money again, right? All the money was gone into the project and then they were poor. So it was like up and down and up and down. And then when he got older, he started his own businesses. And he had the same thing happen. Some months he would have so much money, he'd be like amazing. And then next month, no money, and then it's like a cycle for him. And then he finally did this exercise and realized that, wow, as a kid, my dad did that. And now I'm doing the same thing. I have the same money blueprint as my dad, ups and downs. Like money is not stable for me. It's like I got a lot of it, I got none of it. Like that's what his money blueprint was. Okay, so that's what he realized. So what is yours? What happened when you were a kid? What did your parents do? What was it like in your household? What was it like in your school or your community? What was money like? Did you always have money? Was it always wealthy? Did you always have what you needed? Or were you always poor? Or was it up and down? Or what was going on? Did people fight about money? Were people really happy about money? What was happening? So that's modeling. So basically you write down what was going on, write down what kind of experiences you had, and then write down the effect that modeling may have had on your financial life. It's like T. Harv Eker realized that, wow, modeling this has made my life go up and down and up and down, right? It's amazing. So figure that out for yourself, okay? And then the third thing is specific incidents, where you think about a specific emotional incident that happened. And he has an example in this book that's kind of serious in a way, but basically this person had, she was a nurse and she spent all her money all the time. She made good money, but it was always gone. So she went and did this exercise and thought about incidents when she was a kid. And she remembered that when she was a kid, her dad was having an argument with her mom about money in a Chinese restaurant, and then he stood up and he got really mad and he hit his fist on the table And then he turned blue, and then he actually fell down of a heart attack, and she was trying to do CPR because she was on a swim team, but it didn't work, and he died. So she realized from that incident that that's why she was a nurse, because she was still trying to save her dad's life, even though he was dead. And she had associated money to pain, the pain of him dying, the pain that caused him to die. And so that's why she spent it all when she got it. She's like, I don't want to have it. It causes pain. Once she realized that was running her life, she changed her profession. She's no longer a nurse, and she became a financial planner, and now she's wealthy. So the point of this is you have to really think about your own life. But these are examples where you can think. And right now, I would highly recommend you actually think back on your own life. What happened in your life? So what did you hear? What did you see? And what was happening in your life in terms of specific incidents? Okay? Now, not only that, you have to let go of the past incidents that was going on. Okay, so verbal programming. You have that's my mom, by the way. I saw my mom. So now that you've written down the statements that you heard when you were a child, and you figured out how that's affected your life, all right? And you can share if you've figured out something, you can let me know. So now that you've done that, you have to do something else. You have to disassociate from it, okay? So it's not enough to know it, you have to let it go, right? So for the verbal programming, this is how you disassociate, all right? So listen carefully. You've already done this looking at what the verbal programming was and how it's affected your life. So can you see that these thoughts represent only what you learned and are not a part of your anatomy and not who you are? Okay, so you would answer yes, I can see that. Okay, then can you see that you have a choice in the present moment to be different? And the answer would be yes. Okay, so you basically understand that. I'm right here, Jordan. And then I gotta go. My son woke up and he's freaking out. So when I heard about money isn't necessarily true, I choose to adopt new ways of thinking that support my happiness and success. Okay, guys, I gotta go. My son is freaking out. Come here, buddy. I know she had to go, buddy. My son's having a. Okay, bye, guys. Have a good day. Aloha. Bye, bye, bye. Bye. Yeah, my mom had to go out today. My son is a little upset about that.